By the time you realize a financial decision felt right for all the wrong reasons, the damage has already been done. It's already compounded. This is how that process begins. I'm Lumo, and I want to be clear. This isn't about money, not in the way you've been trained to think about it. No, this is about feelings. It's about that quiet, inner voice you've trusted more than any spreadsheet, the one that whispers, "This feels right," and you listened. So, let's start by confronting a really difficult truth. The financial choices that feel right are usually optimized for your emotional comfort, not for your long-term outcomes. And those two things, they are rarely, if ever, aligned. You see, you don't make your biggest financial mistakes in moments of panic. You actually make them in moments of relief. The trap is most powerful when a choice feels familiar, when it dials down your anxiety, when it helps you sleep a little better at night. Just think about it for a second. You didn't choose the lower-paying job because it was the most logical move. You chose it because it felt safe. You didn't avoid making that investment because the numbers were bad. You avoided it because the uncertainty made your chest feel tight. Every single one of those choices felt right at the time. And that's exactly what makes this whole thing so dangerous. Because the most destructive financial decisions you'll ever make, they don't feel reckless. They feel responsible. They feel mature, grounded. But let me tell you, comfort is not wisdom, and feeling calm does not mean you have clarity. So what's actually going on here? Well, there's a hidden system running underneath your entire financial life. It has nothing to do with your intelligence. It's your deep-seated, primal need for emotional regulation. Every single decision you have to make, it passes through this silent, unconscious filter. And that filter only asks one simple question. Will this reduce my discomfort right now? If the answer is yes, your brain rewards you. It gives you a shot of relief, a sense of control. But if the answer is no, your brain fights back. It creates doubt. It invents risks. It finds 1,000 reasons to just wait. And this is the most crucial part. You mistake that resistance for intuition. You call it your gut feeling. This internal system, it creates a fundamental conflict. A deep conflict between what your emotions demand and how financial growth actually works. And here's what that conflict looks like. Emotion wants immediacy. Money rewards delay. Emotion wants reassurance. Money rewards discipline. Emotion desperately wants to feel right, but money only rewards being correct, and those are not the same thing. The consequence of all of this is pretty stark. Compounding is absolutely ruthless. It doesn't pause because you feel uncertain. So for every single moment you delay a correct but uncomfortable decision, you are paying interest on your hesitation. It's an invisible tax that only becomes visible when it's already too late. This pattern of always choosing comfort, it eventually leads to an emotional reckoning. The peace you're buying today is paid for with the extremely high price of regret tomorrow. There's a moment, and it comes for almost everyone. It's a quiet moment, you're often alone, and you suddenly realize the decisions that brought you here, to this exact spot, they weren't accidents. They were a pattern.
And these are the patterns of choosing relief over resilience, of choosing the illusion of certainty over building real capability, and of consistently choosing the feeling of being right over the actual outcome of being effective.
This is where regret truly comes from. It's not born from one big, catastrophic mistake. It's born from the slow, quiet accumulation of hundreds of small, safe, and comfortable choices. So how do you break the cycle? You need a new mental model, a framework to help you make decisions when your emotions are just screaming for comfort. Now, the goal isn't to get rid of emotion. That's impossible. The goal is to put it in its proper place. So first, let emotion alert you. Think of it as valuable data. But second, and this is key, do not let it decide for you. Emotion is a fantastic advisor, but it's a terrible CEO.
For years, you've probably been asking the wrong question. You've been asking yourself, does this feel right? The problem is, this question only optimizes for your present emotional state.
The better question, the superior question, the one that changes everything, is this one. What does this lead to? This question optimizes for your future outcome. It shifts your entire focus from comfort to consequence. And this right here, this reveals an asymmetry that nobody talks about. The decision that feels wrong today often feels painfully obvious in hindsight.
Your emotions are loud right now, but your future is silent. And your future self, well, that's who pays the price for today's comfort.
So here's your new process. For your very next decision, I want you to try this. If it feels right, stop. Ask yourself, what discomfort am I avoiding? And if it feels wrong, but the logic and the numbers are solid, I want you to lean into that tension. Because that feeling, that is often the price of progress. Because remember, the ultimate goal here isn't to feel good about your money, it's to be free with it. And freedom, well, freedom rarely feels comfortable at the beginning. So I'll leave you with this to reflect on. After hearing all this, which right decision in your past now feels a little different?